Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Grief Drums here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Flores, the brand new attacker coming as part of Crimson Heist. So initially, when I got my hands on Flores, I didn't really know how he was going to fit into the game. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it kind of felt like this operator was a season too late. It really did. My initial thought process when I saw the operator was that he would be great for countering the sort of 20-second meta or the utility meta that we found ourselves in the previous season to last. However, with the changes that came as part of Operation Neon Dawn, this operator on the face of it kind of felt a little bit redundant when I first utilized him. It was a case of, why would I take this guy with essentially 4 Twitch drones that blow up when I could go ahead and take someone like Zofia, in which the impacts just go off straight away? However, after a bit of messing around, I think I finally sussed it. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go through 5 tips for how to play Flores and the ways that you can utilize him when the new season drops. So tip number 1 is going to be utilizing him for clearing utility near doors, windows, and this is fairly straightforward. It's pretty simple and it's quite obvious really. But because of the way his gadget works, as soon as you jump it through a doorway, if you choose to, you can turn it bulletproof. Now, the drone always moves. It's not like a normal drone where you can control it. It's more a case of you turn it and it's constantly going forward, similar to other games like COD or other stuff like that, where the RC car kind of just goes, it just zips. What you can do though is when you choose to, you can select it to turn bulletproof and go into the explosive mode, where it's got like a 3-second countdown-ish until it blows up. Now, if you know there is stuff inside of a doorway or a window, like an Ella Grismot mine or barbed wire, Malusi Banshee, even a Maestro Evil Eye that you're trying to get rid of, you can jump it forward, turn it bulletproof so that the defenders can't do anything about it, and then when it blows up, it'll destroy everything. They could potentially throw an impact at it, but let's be real. The impact is probably going to take out anything that the RC car was going to take out anyway, so it doesn't really work. Now, we managed to use this to great effect throughout the test server. It was a really handy technique because by the time people have realized that the drone is coming through the window, you've already turned it bulletproof in midair. By the time it lands on the floor, it's ready to explode. Now, in order to do this, you kind of need to know that the stuff is already there. So droning ahead first can be extremely handy, but let's be real, this guy's a little bit like Sam. He's really good for intel. He's got essentially 6 drones on him right now. Now, because of this technique, we came on to tip number 2, and it was this bit that sort of made me realize where this guy fits in. Initially, I was comparing him to operators like Zofia, where he's going to be really good at sort of clearing stuff out of the way, but the reality is he's more of like a Thatcher or a Carly, where he could probably destroy stuff on the main wall. He's going to be really good at getting rid of stuff like bandit batteries, Kaid Electroclaws, or anything like that. Now, with the border rework being the map that we're getting this season, we had the opportunity to try this, and Koros and I jumped in and tested it. And as you'll see here, using it on the main wall, now that the floor is completely solid and you can't take batteries out from below, the second you get to the door, if you jump it forward and turn it bulletproof, the radius of the explosion is actually large enough to take out a hell of a lot of equipment that's nearby. So I would definitely start thinking about this guy as a bit of an alternative to Thatcher if he's banned. Tip number 3 is going to be using him in a comparison to someone like Capital, in the fact that you can utilize Flores for area denial. Now, as I've said, once you've turned the gadget bulletproof, it goes into this countdown timer before it blows up, and it gives the defenders a fair amount of warning that it is going into this mode. The lights turn from yellow to red, it turns bulletproof and can't be shot, and it lets out a pretty high-pitched beep, as well as giving the indicator similar to sort of like a grenade indicator, except it's a little picture for an RC car, but it lets everyone in that area know that you need to get away from this thing. Now, using this, you can use it for area denial because defenders don't want to go near that once it goes into that phase. This can be used to great success by jumping it near defenders as well. If you want to force someone out of cover by jumping the drone near them, you can push them away from where they are into the line of sight of someone else. Now, it takes Flores a couple of seconds to actually get off of his drone once he's using this, so you are probably not the one that's going to be able to hold them as they come running out of that cover. But if you're duo queuing or trio queuing and you've got a couple of mates, you can get one of them to hold that particular angle, fairly soft almost, you know, so they're not in the line of sight. And as and when the RC car goes in and forces that person out of cover, they can then pick up a really nice easy kill. This thing, however, really comes into its own for area denial once the diffuser is actually down. If you manage to plant the diffuser and the Flores is still alive, he can actually go ahead and leave his drones on top of the diffuser. You're constantly burning time in which defenders can't get anywhere near it, and even if you don't get the kill from it, you're still delaying time and stopping them from getting close to the diffuser to be able to do anything about it. I can see this working really well on maps like Bank, where you're going to be planting just inside of the server wall. Flores can sit inside of blue or on top of the hatch and by the square skylight, and he can just send these little cars down there knowing that no one's going to be able to get anywhere near the diffuser. Next up today, we're going to be looking at the opportunity to use this for distractions. Now, one thing you can do is once you deploy the car itself and start driving it, if you come out of the viewing screen, kind of like putting a drone away, the car will continue to drive in a straight line. Now, once you do this, you're not going to be able to go back in and recontrol it. It's going. You also won't be able to turn it or anything like that, and it will just continue driving in a straight line. However, if you start it going in the straight line that you want it to go in, you can then come off of this and people will believe you are still driving it around and therefore still vulnerable. This could give you the opportunity to send this in through one doorway on one side of the bomb site as you push in through the opposite way. The defenders will either have to run away from it, try and shoot it, potentially come looking for you, or it will just give you that split second while they're looking at the drone to try and go and push them. We'll get the diffuser down, or just using it as a sound cover. This is something that I really like about the operator, actually. I think it's quite a clever way to use him, and it could be used to great effect, especially since you can do this with all 4 drones if you wanted to. I can't really see an opportunity in which you would want to waste all 4 like this, but you could send 4 drones going off in different directions and then carry on running around the map if you wanted to. Once the timer runs out on the drones, they'll blow up, they'll make a load of noise, but the possibilities are pretty endless. The final thing I wanted to cover today was probably a bug. I'm not 100% sure on this. I don't think it's intentional, but I can see this getting patched reasonably quickly. However, once you jump the drone, if you then turn it into the bulletproof mode, it will actually stick onto walls, and that's intentional. But this prompted us to sort of take a look at it and think, I wonder if I can get this onto the roof. So Ross and I did a bit of testing, and by putting a single punch hole in a wall, when you jump up, the drone actually clips onto the punch hole and it sort of hovers on top of it. From there, you can sort of jump up even further and you can actually stick this thing to the ceiling or the roof above you. Now, if you know that a defender is up there, you could potentially use this like a grenade from below, or alternatively, you can use it in a slightly different capacity where you just put it straight down onto the floor and use it like a breaching charge. Due to the size of the explosion, the hole that this thing creates is actually pretty big. It seems a little bit bigger than the sort of hole that Ash or Zofia would leave with their breaching rounds. But having not done a side-by-side comparison, I can't be 100% sure on that. Using the drone to create line of sights, though, is going to be extremely handy. And I'm really excited to see how the community is going to use this. Anyway, that is 5 little ways that you can utilize Flores when he comes out on the test server. Hopefully it gives you some food for thought. It took a little while of messing around with this operator to really figure out where I was going with it and to figure out what counters it and what doesn't. It seems like just the same as Twitch in the sense it's going to be extremely vulnerable, and I think it still potentially is, but if you go driving it straight into the middle of the site, it can be shot at, it could be blown up, it could be affected by mute jammers. Mozzie pests will instantly destroy it, even if it's bulletproof, although the timing does have to be spot on with that. Maestro can take this out with his evil eye, obviously, while it's driving around, but even still, I think this is quite a lot of fun, honestly. I'd love to hear what you guys think, though. Are you excited to play this new operator, or do you think it's a season too late? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that's it for today. I have posted a load of other videos all about the new season, so if you're interested in any other information about the next year for Rainbow Six, make sure to go and check those out. I've got a video all about the roadmap and everything like that. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay reckless and relentless.